Hello again, my name is Craig and this is Quarantine with Craig Day 7. And the whole point of these videos originally was that I was locked down for 14 days and I was going to do a video every single day whilst I was locked down. Now the UK has locked everybody down, so I am permanently locked down, so I'm probably going to do these beyond those 14 days. So today I am talking about this: how can I get more people to see my content? I came up with this topic idea after Darren Paget sent me this message. So on my video that I put out yesterday, I asked if anybody had any questions or anything like that. Darren came back with a question: how to increase the views of my public information films, more seen, more folks laughing. So at the minute, Darren is producing kind of daily videos, a little bit like me, around places around the UK. They're quite funny videos and they're really good actually what he's doing. But he's looking to see how he can increase the views of those videos that he's doing. So Darren particularly is doing videos, but the things I'm going to talk about in this video apply to any kind of content that you are sharing online that you want to be seen by more people. So I'm not talking specifically about tactics, although I might mention a couple of things that I think are important, but these are the main things I'm talking about. Two things: content ingredients, organization, and consistency. I think these four things kind of underpin everything that you do online in terms of creating content, sharing it, and getting more people to see it. These are the kind of underlying fundamentals to make your content work, no matter what kind of content you're producing. So first of all, two things to understand about your content. When you make a piece of content, it's immediately not going to be consumed by people. So most people who see your content, no matter what it is, won't consume it yet. And the other thing to understand is the other people who don't consume it won't like the format of it, and they'll probably never consume it. If you're making content that's good, there's going to be a portion of people that don't like it, that will never see it and will never want to consume it, and the other portion of people won't have the time to consume it yet. We're going to return to these two topics in a little while. Those two things: most people won't consume your content and the other people won't like the format of it, kind of underpin these two things: content type and content format. These two things are super important, and they are the things that really make sure that your content gets seen by as many people as possible. Adding another thing to this too gives us the content ingredients. This helps you make any kind of content that you produce online work a little bit better and work a little bit harder than it probably already does. So we've got type, format, goal, and then all of those three things lead into a content platform, basically picking a platform. And I'll go into that in a little while as well, about why I think you should pick a platform and stick to it and make that your main platform and make the other platforms kind of backup satellite platforms. So let's start by looking at content type. Obviously, content type is pretty straightforward. There's mainly four kinds of content: text, photo, video, or audio. There's not much else you can do with it. Everybody knows there's four content types. The thing about content types, particularly text, photo, video, and audio, is the thing that some people forget, is that some people only like text, some people only like reading, for example, or viewing photos. Some people prefer videos, some people prefer listening to stuff. So whatever content you decide to produce, unless you are making that content across all four of those content types, certain people are not going to like the content you produce purely because they don't like the medium or the content type that you've made it in. The next thing to think about after you've thought about the content type is the content format. So underneath text, photo, video, and audio, there's lots of different formats that you could use to put your content out there on social media. I've only put a small selection here. So under text, we've got tweet, text message, and email. Under photo, that's a little bit more difficult because a photo is just a photo, but we've got things like Instagram, Flickr, or Facebook. Under video, we've got YouTube, interview, or maybe a drone video. And then under audio, we've got podcast or a radio show or a music track. But there's lots of different kind of content formats, and there's no way I could cover them all in this. But your content that you're producing probably falls under one of these formats. And when you are looking at these content ingredients, it's important that you pick a type, pick a format, and then finally pick a content goal. There's got to be a reason for you making the content that you are making it in the first place. You're not just making it just because it's fun, or maybe if you're practicing, you might be making it just for fun. But if it's for a business goal, if you want something to happen out of the content that you are creating, there has to be a reason, an underpinning goal to the content that you are creating. This is the step that a lot of people miss. People, when they are doing marketing, they do marketing for marketing's sake because they are told they need to market. Everybody's told that they need to market stuff. Everybody's told they need to be on social media. Everybody's told they need to do this and do that. But people don't really know why, because they never sit down and consider what their content goals are, or really wider than that, what their marketing goals are. So when you're producing a piece of content, you have to consider the goal of your content. What are you trying to do with the person who is seeing your content or consuming your content? The main ones, I think, really are inspire, educate, laugh, maybe shock, think, sign up and buy. Sign up and buy are really making people perform an action. They're kind of the same thing. And there's lots of other content goals as well. I've just repackaged a familiar concept in marketing into a different way here to make it make sense for content. These videos, for example, the ones I'm producing right now that you're watching and listening to, this is an example of an education video. I am telling you everything I know about how to make a piece of content go wider in your audience. So this video is an example of that, and this is an education video. And then once you've picked your content format, your content type, your content format, and your content goal, then we have to think about the content platform. It's important to think about your content platform because I think you should pick one and only one. The idea, or the thing that a lot of social media experts like to say, is that you should put your content across all platforms, which I agree with. But I think you should make one of the content platforms your main one that you focus on. It's impossible if you're a business owner and you're producing your own social content, just like I am, just like you are, Darren, as well. You need to have a platform that you can kind of get good at. And you're not going to be able to get good at as a business owner, as somebody who's running a business at the same time as creating the content. You are not going to be able to get good at Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube, etc., etc., etc. You cannot get good at them all. It's impossible. So I suggest picking one of them, getting good at it, then moving on to another platform. And we'll come back to this concept in a bit, by the way, but I just wanted to show the content platform. So when you are thinking about content, again, if you want it to reach the largest audience, you have to pick a content type, pick a content format, pick a content goal, pick a content platform, and then you have got the foundations of a piece of content that has the potential to go wider than it is. Now let's just return to a couple of things here. Most people won't consume your content yet. This was one of the two things that I said at the beginning. There's a couple of reasons for this. Well, there's lots of reasons for this. It might be that they just don't have the time to watch or read or consume the thing that you've created. If it's just a photo, yep, they can create it, they can consume it straight away. But if it's something more in depth, even a 2-minute video, even a 30-second video, people might not have the time or think they've not got the time to consume it at that point in time. The other thing, they might think, well, it looks cool, but I'm running out of data. So people run out of data on their phones. They might not be able to consume it if it's a video or something that's going to consume all their data. And then that leads me to another point. So if we're in this state, most people won't consume your content yet. We need to consider this thing, organization, or putting it another way, creating your own TV channel. This comes back to picking a platform. This is a concept that Gary Vaynerchuk, I believe, first talked about. He came up with the idea on social, particularly the idea of creating your own TV channel and getting people to come to your TV channel. Instead of trying to go to other platforms, instead of trying to go to YouTube, or instead of trying to put your content out across many, many platforms, you create your own channel on maybe one of those platforms and you distribute it across everywhere else. You make yourself or your business or your content the center of that platform. This creating your own TV channel could be said another way as well. How can somebody find your content when they are ready? This comes back to organization, because most people who consume your content are a little bit like this. They're looking at your content and then they're looking down a massive feed of content. So the initial views of your video, in this case, because we're talking about Darren's stuff, the initial views of your video may be quite low. But if you set up this, where are people going to go to get more of your content, i.e. creating your own TV channel, i.e. bring the conversation to your chosen platform, if you set up a place where people can go back to consume your content when they are ready, the playing field changes and more people view your content. So let's look at this again. So we've got Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube. This kind of tactic here is the scattergun approach, what most social media experts would tell you to do. They would tell you to upload your content across all of these platforms equally and not pick a platform and never get good at any of the platforms and kind of dip in and dip out of loads of different platforms. This isn't a good tactic. This is a better tactic, to have your TV channel sat in the center. And by the way, I'm using the term TV channel because I'm talking particularly about video, but if it's a blog, it could be your website or whatever, it doesn't really matter. The thing in the middle is the thing that you own and you get really good at. So you have the thing in the center and you have the rest of the stuff, all of the other social platforms sat around the edge in kind of a satellite fashion. Let me just give you an example of this because I realize this might not make much sense. So these videos here, this video you're watching right now that I'm creating, I'm putting these videos on YouTube. So if I go over to my channel, in this case, my channel is YouTube. This is my TV channel. So on YouTube, I have my videos, and you can see the how to design your social media like crap video that I did yesterday. They're my videos. So when I'm on another platform like Twitter, if I go over to my profile, I direct people to my content on YouTube. So if I can find a quick example, here we go. This is a tweet I put out. Quarantine with Craig. I'm recording a video a day for the next 14 days. You can find them all over here. So every so often, I put tweets out about my latest videos, and there's another tweet. I put tweets out about my latest videos, but I always direct them back to the same place. In this case, it is YouTube, but it could be my website, it could be kind of anywhere else. The difference doesn't matter. So then when I go over to my LinkedIn, you can see the similar post that I posted at a different time on LinkedIn, basically linking off to YouTube again. So in my case, in this situation, my TV channel is YouTube, and then the rest of the stuff sat around it feeds into my TV channel. It's quite important, that concept. If you want to get more views and more traffic to your content, if it's a video or whatever it is, if you want to get more traffic to it, you need to utilize one or two social media platforms effectively and push those people back to your channel, be it your website or YouTube or whatever. Now I'm saying this, that you should push people to another platform, but where possible you should still post these things natively. My videos are too long to post natively, so I can't do that, but I know Darren's videos are usually a minute long and they can be posted natively, and there's a really, really, really good reason for doing that, because a social media's main goal, a social media platform's main goal, is to increase the time that somebody spends on that platform. So if we go back to LinkedIn again, this is LinkedIn right now. I'm looking at this right now, and LinkedIn's number one primary goal is to keep me on this website. They want me to keep doing this. They want me to keep scrolling down this page. They want me to keep seeing new posts. They want me to be clicking on people's profiles. They want me to stay on this website. They don't want me to click on this and go off to Matt Brailsford's website. They want me to stay on LinkedIn, because if I don't stay on LinkedIn, they can't serve me adverts and I don't continue to interact with LinkedIn. So bearing that in mind, the most powerful content that you can produce on a social media platform is native content, because native content keeps you on that service and it keeps them active on that website. So generally, your social content shouldn't link off to a separate service. Sometimes it's essential, so my videos are longer. I link everybody off to YouTube. I know every time I'm linking someone off to a separate website, the post I'm putting out will get less engagement because I'm linking off to a separate website. That's just the fact of the matter, and I have to put up with that. But if you absolutely can, put your content natively on the platform, but also still link people off to your place where your content sits. I still, as I said, do not recommend the scattergun approach. I don't recommend you'd upload your content to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and YouTube. I recommend you still pick a platform. For me, when I did this, I picked Twitter first. So my choice was Twitter, and I did a video about that. I think it was day 2 or 3. I did a video about how I'm using Twitter seriously and how I'm getting really good at using Twitter properly. I decided to go all in on Twitter before I went across to any other social media platform. I learned how Twitter works. I've done a few courses. I'm still part of a course right now, still learning how Twitter works. I'm using Twitter daily. I post 10 to 15 posts on Twitter every single day, and I've seen great growth on Twitter because I am focusing on Twitter. Now, after I've got good at Twitter, which is the stage I'm at, I may consider that I might want to go to Facebook now. Now I've got a Twitter following, I can drag my Twitter following to Facebook. I'm not going to do that, but it's just an example. And then the third thing is I might take my Facebook following after I've learned how to use Facebook onto Instagram and then get good at Instagram too. You don't have to. I think you can just be good at one platform, stick with it, and kind of pay lip service to the rest of them. So LinkedIn, for example, I pay lip service to LinkedIn, to be honest. I post videos on there probably maybe once a day or every couple of days, and I only post a little bit of content. I don't interact with many people. I'm not following the correct rules to get good at LinkedIn, but that's because Twitter is my thing, and I enjoy using Twitter, and I'm going to continue using Twitter, and I think that's the best bang for my buck for the thing I want to achieve. So I think you should pick a platform. The scattergun approach isn't the best way. You'll drive more traffic to your content, more views, etc. if you get good at one platform. And then there's just one more final thing to say about this as well. If you want to get more views to your content, it is a slow process. It requires consistency. Now that we're all working from home, we've probably got a little bit more time because we've got less clients and things like that. Now is a good time to build the habit of consistency. I'm making a video every day, so I'm seeing my views slowly going up, and I emphasize the word slowly there. I'm not seeing them increase massively. I'm seeing consistent growth, but it's slow. So if you want your traffic to increase to your content, the content has a compounding effect. Every day that you continue to post more content, you will become known for that kind of content. After a while, it might be a year, 2 years, 3 years. After a while, you'll be known for that kind of content. People will come to you for that kind of content, and they'll keep looking for your content if you've put it somewhere where they can easily find it, which is a really important point, remember. The other thing is, when you produce consistently, you are over-indexing on social media platforms. The thing with Twitter, there's usually kind of any social media platform, there's an optimum amount of posting that you should do. On Twitter, I've been told to grow an account, it's around 10 to 15 tweets a day. So that's what I do. I post 10 to 15 tweets a day, and I have seen a lot more interaction, a lot more engagement, and a lot more views on my content. If I only posted 1 tweet a day, bearing in mind, and this is another thing I got told recently, bearing in mind a tweet only has a lifetime of about 15 minutes, that one post in that day wouldn't do any service. It wouldn't help me at all. So you have to understand the ability to over-index on a platform as well by posting lots and lots of content, basically spamming the platform with lots of content. Don't worry that you're going to annoy people, because it's practically impossible to annoy people on social media now, because everybody's doing the same thing, and the social media platforms are not chronological anymore anyway. Sometimes you'll go on social media and it's showing a post from 10 days ago when you've just posted something right now. So don't worry about annoying people. So overall, these are the things that you need to follow to make sure your content grows and increases and people continue to look at it. You need to send people to your TV channel or send people to your channel. Choose a place. It can be YouTube, it can be your own website, it can be a blog, but choose one location that you are going to send people to that platform. All the social media you do, unless it's posted natively, you send the people to that platform and that platform only. Use the social media as a satellite thing around your one central thing, which is your TV channel. So make sure you have TV channel and then use a social media to push people to your channel. You've also got to get good at one social platform first. So don't spam your content across a million different channels that you don't fully understand. Pick a platform, might be LinkedIn, might be Twitter, might be Facebook, might be YouTube. Pick a platform and then stick to it until you understand it, until you've grown that platform, then move out to other platforms. The number one most important thing is be consistent and stay patient. I guess that's the second most important thing. Consistency and patience. You have to have both of those because your content won't get popular quickly, but it will get popular over time because content compounds. Your expertise compounds. As you put more and more content out, you get known for that kind of content. People become more aware of you producing that kind of content, and then your content gets more views. And then finally, build your channel one person at a time. Don't expect your platform to take off overnight. Don't expect to be getting 1 million views on the first video that you create. If you get 15 views, that's amazing. You've had 15 people consume the content that you made. That's really cool. And then the next video you produce, your goal should be to have 15 people and then one more. It should be 16. And then your next video should be 16 people and one more, and then 17. And then 17 people and one more, and then 18. If you grow your platform and grow your channel one person at a time like that, it'll make you appreciate how good the content has to be that you make. It has to be for the people, and you have to be serving a need with your content. That's where we go back to the content goals. Are you inspiring people? Are you educating people? Are you just making funny content to make people laugh? Whatever it is, the content needs to be for your audience and not just for your ego. So that was me. That was Quarantine with Craig, day 7. My name is Craig Burgess. I'm on Twitter at Craig Burgess. If you just look me up on there, Twitter is my favourite platform. It's the one I use the most. You can find out more about me on getdoingthings.com, and I'll be back with another video just like this one tomorrow. And in fact, tomorrow I'm talking about colour because somebody asked me to talk about colour. So I'll see you then. See you soon.